same year. In 2010, Tesla moved its corporate headquarters and opened a powertrain development facility in Palo Alto. Tesla's first major assembly plant occupies the former Nummi plant in Fremont, California, known as the Tesla Fremont factory. The factory was originally opened by General Motors in 1962, and then operated by Nummi, a joint venture of GM and Toyota from 1984. The joint venture ended when GM entered bankruptcy in 2009. In 2010, Toyota agreed to sell the plant to Tesla at a significant discount. Tesla's first purpose-built facility was opened in Nevada in 2016. Gigafactory Nevada produces the Powerwall battery cells in partnership with Panasonic, Model 3 drivetrains, and the Tesla Semi. The factory received substantial subsidies, abatements and credits from the local and state government that, in exchange for opening in their jurisdiction, allowed Tesla to operate essentially tax-free for 10 years, later extended to 20 years in exchange for expanding the factory to add a production line for the Tesla Semi and add additional battery manufacturing capacity. As part of the acquisition of SolarCity in 2016, Tesla gained control of Gigafactory New York in Buffalo on the site of a former Republic Steel plant. The state of New York spent cash to build and equip the factory through the Buffalo Billion program. In 2017, the factory started production of the Tesla Solar Roof, but faced multiple production challenges. Since 2020, Tesla has also assembled superchargers in New York. The plant has been criticized for offering little economic benefit for the state funding. In 2018, Tesla assembled tension fabric buildings at the Fremont plant to meet production goals of 5,000 cars produced a month. The structure was assembled in 2 weeks and measured 53 feet high, 150 feet wide, and 900 feet long. On the 23rd of July, 2020, Tesla picked Austin, Texas, as the site of its fifth Gigafactory, since then known as Gigafactory Texas. Giga Texas is the only factory that produces the Tesla Cybertruck and produces Model Y cars for the eastern United States. On the 1st of December, 2021, Tesla announced it relocated its legal headquarters from Palo Alto to the Gigafactory Texas site in Austin. However, Tesla has retained the Palo Alto building. On the 7th of April, 2022, Tesla celebrated the opening of Gigafactory Texas in a public event. Tesla acquired a former JCPenney distribution center near Lathrop, California, in 2021 to build the Megafactory to manufacture the Megapark, the company's large-scale energy storage product. The location opened in 2022. Tesla announced in February it would open a new global engineering headquarters in Palo Alto, moving into a corporate campus once owned by Hewlett-Packard, located a couple of miles from Tesla's former headquarters building. Tesla has announced plans to open a Gigafactory Mexico, the company's sixth Gigafactory, near Monterrey, Mexico. However, as of July 2024, the company has placed construction on hold until after the 2024 United States presidential election because former President Trump has pledged to add tariffs on cars made in Mexico. Europe. Main articles: Tesla facilities in Tilburg and Gigafactory Berlin-Brandenburg. Tesla opened its first European store in June 2009 in London. Tesla's European headquarters are in the Netherlands, part of a group of Tesla facilities in Tilburg, including the company's European distribution center. In late 2016, Tisla acquired German engineering firm Grumman Engineering as a new division dedicated to helping Tisla increase the automation and effectiveness of its manufacturing process. After winding down existing contracts with other manufacturers, the renamed Tisla Automation now works exclusively on Tisla projects. Tisla announced its plans to build a car and battery factory in Europe in 2016. Several countries campaigned to be the host, and eventually Germany was chosen in November 2019. On the 22nd of March 2022, Tisla's first European Gigafactory named Gigafactory Berlin opened with planned capacity to produce 500,000 electric vehicles annually as well as batteries for the cars. Asia. Main article, Gigafactory Shanghai. Tisla opened its first showroom in Asia in Tokyo, Japan, in October 2010. In July 2018, Tisla signed an agreement with Chinese authorities to build a factory in Shanghai, China, which was Tisla's first Gigafactory outside the United States. The factory building was finished in August 2019, and the initial Tisla Model 3S were in production from Gigafactory Shanghai in October 2019. In 2021, China accounted for 26% of Tisla sales revenue, and was the second largest market for Tisla after the United States, which accounted for 45% of its sales. Tisla expressed interest in 2023 in expanding to India and perhaps building a future Gigafactory in the country. The company established a legal presence in the nation in 2021 and plans to open an office in Pune starting in October 2023. Partners: Panasonic. In January 2010, Tisla and battery cell maker Panasonic announced that they would together develop nickel-based lithium-ion battery cells for electric vehicles. Beginning in 2010, Panasonic invested $30 million for a multi-year collaboration on new battery cells designed specifically for electric vehicles. In July 2014, Panasonic reached a basic agreement with Tisla to participate in battery production at Giga Nevada. Tisla and Panasonic also collaborated on the manufacturing and production of photovoltaic (PV) cells and modules at the Giga New York factory in Buffalo, New York. The partnership started in mid-2017 and ended in early 2020. Before Panasonic exited the solar business entirely in January 2021. In March 2021, the outgoing CEO of Panasonic stated that the company plans to reduce its reliance on Tisla as their battery partnership evolves. Other current partners: Tisla has long-term contracts in place for lithium supply. In September 2020, Tisla signed a sales agreement with Piedmont Lithium to buy high-purity lithium ore for up to 10 years, specifically to supply spodumene concentrate from Piedmont's North Carolina mineral deposit. In 2022, Tisla contracted for 110,000 tons of spodumene concentrate over 4 years from the Core Lithium's lithium mine in the Northern Territory of Australia. Tisla also has a range of minor partnerships, for instance working with airport and hotel chains to install destination chargers at selected locations. Former partners: Daimler. Daimler and Tisla began working together in late 2007. On the 19th of May 2009, Daimler bought a stake of less than 10% in Tisla for a reported $50 million. As part of the collaboration, Herbert Kohler, Vice President of eDrive and Future Mobility at Daimler, took a Tisla board seat. On the 13th of July 2009, Daimler sold 40% of its acquisition to Arba, an investment company controlled by the International Petroleum Investment Company owned by the government of Abu Dhabi. In October 2014, Daimler sold its remaining holdings for a reported $780 million. Tesla supplied battery packs for Freightliner trucks in 2010. The company also built electric powertrain components for the Mercedes-Benz A-Class E-Cell, with 500 cars planned to be built for trial in Europe beginning in September 2011. Tesla produced and co-developed the Mercedes-Benz B250 ES powertrain, which ended production in 2017. The electric motor was rated 134 HP, 100 kilowatts, and 230 pound force-feet, 310 Nm, with a 36 kilowatt-hour, 130 mAh battery. The vehicle had a driving range of 200 kilometers, 124 mi, with a top speed of 150 kilometers per hour, 93 miles per hour. Daimler Division Smart produced the SmartEd 2 cars from 2009 to 2012, which had a 14 kilowatt-hour, 50 mAh, lithium-ion battery from Tesla. Toyota. In May 2010, Tesla and Toyota announced a deal in which Tesla purchased the former Nummi factory from Toyota for $42 million. Toyota purchased $50 million in Tesla stock, and the two companies collaborated on an electric vehicle. In July 2010, the companies announced they would work together on a second-generation Toyota RAV4 EV. The vehicle was unveiled at the October 2010 Los Angeles Auto Show, and 35 pilot vehicles were built for a demonstration and evaluation program that ran through 2011. Tesla supplied the lithium metal oxide battery and other powertrain components based on components from the Roadster. The production version was unveiled in August 2012, using battery pack, electronics and powertrain components from the Tesla Model S sedan, also launched in 2012. The RAV4 EV had a limited production run which resulted in just under 3,000 vehicles being produced, before it was discontinued in 2014. According to Bloomberg News, the partnership between Tesla and Toyota was marred by clashes between engineers. Toyota engineers rejected designs that Tesla had proposed for an enclosure to protect the RAV4 EV's battery pack. Toyota took over responsibility for the enclosure's design and strengthened it. In 2014, Tesla ended up adding a titanium plate to protect the Model S sedan's battery after some debris-related crashes led to cars catching fire. On the 5th of June, 2017, Toyota announced that it had sold all of its shares in Tesla and halted the partnership. Mobili. Initial versions of Autopilot were developed in partnership with Mobili beginning in 2014. Mobili ended the partnership on the 26th of July, 2016, citing disagreements about how the technology was deployed. Lawsuits and controversies. Main articles, list of lawsuits involving Tesla, Inc. and criticism of Tesla, Incorporated. Sexual harassment. In 2021, 7 women came forward with claims of having faced sexual harassment and discrimination while working at Tesla's Fremont factory. They accused the company of facilitating a culture of rampant sexual harassment. The women said they were consistently subjected to catcalling, unwanted advances, unwanted touching, and discrimination while at work. I was so tired of the unwanted attention and the males gawking at me, I proceeded to create barriers around me just so I could get some relief, Brooks told the Washington Post. That was something I felt necessary just so I can do my job. Stories range from intimate groping to being called out to the parking lot for sex. Women feared calling human resources for help, as their supervisors were often participants. Musk himself is not indicted, but most of the women pressing charges believe their abuse is connected to the behavior of CEO Elon Musk. They cite his crude remarks about women's bodies, wisecracks about starting a university that abbreviated to T.IT.S, and his generally dismissive attitude towards reporting sexual harassment. What we're addressing for each of the lawsuits is just a shocking pattern of rampant harassment that exists at Tesla, said attorney David Allo. In 2017, another woman had accused Tesla of very similar behavior and was subsequently fired. In a statement to The Guardian, Tesla confirmed the company had terminated her employment, saying it had thoroughly investigated the employee's allegations with the help of a neutral, third-party expert and concluded her complaints were unmerited. In May 2022, a California judge ruled that the sexual harassment lawsuit could move to court, rejecting Tesla's request for closed-door arbitration. Labor disputes. See also, Tesla and unions. United States. In June 2016, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, took issue with Tesla's use of non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, regarding customer repairs and, in October 2021, the NHTSA formally asked Tesla to explain its NDA policy regarding customers invited into the FSD beta. Tesla has used NDAs on multiple occasions with both employees and customers to allegedly prevent possible negative coverage. From 2014 to 2018, Tesla's Fremont factory had 3 times as many Occupational Safety and Health Administration (OSHA) violations as the 10 largest U.S. auto plants combined. An investigation by the Reveal podcast alleged that Tesla failed to report some of its serious injuries on legally mandated reports to downplay the extent of injuries. In January 2019, former Tesla security manager Sean Gouthro filed a whistleblower complaint alleging that the company had hacked employees' phones and spied on them, while also failing to report illegal activities to the authorities and shareholders. Several legal cases have revolved around alleged whistleblower retaliation by Tesla. These include the dismissal of Tesla safety official Carlos Ramirez and Tesla security employee Carl Hansen. In 2020, the court ordered Hansen's case to arbitration. In June 2022, the arbitrator filed an unopposed motion with the court stating Hansen has failed to establish the claims. Accordingly, his claims are denied, and he shall take nothing. In September 2019, a California judge ruled that 12 actions in 2017 and 2018 by Musk and other Tesla executives violated labor laws because they sabotaged employee attempts to unionize. In March 2021, the U.S. National Labor Relations Board ordered Musk to remove a tweet and reinstate a fired employee over union organization activities. Later, after appealing, a federal appeals court upheld the decision. The California Civil Rights Department filed a suit in 2022 alleging a pattern of racial harassment and bias at the Tesla Fremont factory. As of April 2023, the department is also conducting a probe of the factory based on a 2021 complaint and claims that Tesla has been obstructing the investigation. Europe. In October 2023, a strike was initiated by the Swedish labor union IF Metall against a Tesla subsidiary due to the company's refusal to sign a collective agreement. The strike initially involved approximately 120 mechanics at 10 workshops servicing Tesla vehicles and later expanded via solidarity strikes to include services provided by postmen, electricians, and other workers involved with Tesla operations. In September 2024, in an attempt to crack down on worker absenteeism, Tesla's Berlin area factory conducted unannounced visits to the homes of employees out on sick leave. Fraud allegations. There have been numerous concerns about Tesla's financial reporting. In 2013, Bloomberg News questioned whether Tesla's financial reporting violated generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP, reporting standards. Fortune accused Tesla in 2016 of using creative accounting to show positive cash flow and quarterly profits. In 2018, analysts expressed concerns over Tesla's accounts receivable balance. In September 2019, the SEC questioned Tesla CFO Zach Kirkhorn about Tesla's warranty reserves and lease accounting. In a letter to his clients, hedge fund manager David Einhorn, whose firm suffered losses from its short position against Tesla that quarter, accused Elon Musk in November 2019 of significant fraud, and publicly questioned Tesla's accounting practices, telling Musk that he was beginning to wonder whether your accounts receivable exist. From 2012 to 2014, Tesla earned more than $295 million in zero-emission vehicle credits for a battery swapping technology that was never made available to customers. Staff at California Air Resources Board were concerned that Tesla was gaming the battery swap subsidies and in 2013 recommended eliminating the credits. A consolidated shareholders lawsuit alleges that Musk knew SolarCity was going broke before the acquisition, that he and the Tesla board overpaid for SolarCity, ignored their conflicts of interest and breached their fiduciary duties in connection with the deal, and failed to disclose troubling facts essential to an analysis of the proposed acquisition. The members of the board settled in 2020, leaving Musk as the only defendant. In April 2022, the Delaware Court of Chancery ruled in favor of Musk, and its ruling was upheld by the Delaware Supreme Court in June 2023. In August 2018, Elon Musk tweeted, "I'm considering taking Tesla private at $420. Funding secured." The tweet caused the stock to initially rise, but then drop when it was revealed to be false. Musk settled fraud charges with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, over his false statements in September 2018. According to the terms of the settlement, Musk agreed to have his tweets reviewed by Tesla's in-house counsel. He was removed from his chairman role at Tesla temporarily, and 2 new independent directors were appointed to the company's board. Tesla and Musk also paid civil penalties of $20 million each. A civil class action shareholder lawsuit over Musk's statements and other derivative lawsuits were also filed against Musk and the members of Tesla's board of directors, as then constituted, regarding claims and actions made that were associated with potentially going private. In February 2023, a California jury unanimously found Musk and Tesla not liable in the class action lawsuit. In September 2018, Tesla disclosed that it was under investigation by the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, regarding its Model 3 production figures. Authorities were investigating whether the company misled investors and made projections about its Model 3 production that it knew would be impossible to meet. A stockholder class action lawsuit against Tesla related to Model 3 production numbers, unrelated to the FBI investigation, was dismissed in March 2019. In May 2024, Reuters reported that U.S. federal prosecutors were investigating whether the company committed securities or wire fraud by misleading investors and consumers about autopilot and full self-driving. Tesla U.S. dealership disputes. See also, Tesla U.S. dealership disputes. Unlike other automakers, Tesla does not rely on franchised auto dealerships to sell vehicles and instead directly sells vehicles through its website and a network of company-owned stores. In some areas, Tesla operates locations called galleries which educate and inform customers about our products, but such locations do not actually transact in the sale of vehicles. This is because some jurisdictions, particularly in the United States, prohibit auto manufacturers from directly selling vehicles to consumers. Dealership associations have filed lawsuits to prevent direct sales. These associations argued that the franchise system protects consumers by encouraging dealers to compete, lowering the price a customer pays. They also claimed that direct sales would allow manufacturers to undersell their dealers. The United States Federal Trade Commission ultimately disproved the association's claims and recommended allowing direct manufacturer sale, which they concluded would save consumers 8% in average vehicle price. Tesla has also lobbied state governments for the right to directly sell cars. The company has argued that directly operating stores improves consumer education about electric vehicles, because dealerships would sell both Tesla and gas-powered vehicles. Doing this, according to the company, would then set up a conflict of interest for the dealers since properly advertising the benefits of an electric car would disparage the gas-powered vehicles, creating a disincentive to dealership EV sales. Musk himself further contended that dealers would have a disincentive to sell electric vehicles because they require less maintenance and therefore would reduce after-sales service revenue, a large profit center for most dealerships. Intellectual property. In January 2021, Tesla filed a lawsuit against Alex Kitilov alleging that the former employee stole company information by downloading files related to its Warp Drive software to his personal Dropbox account. Kitilov denies the allegation that he was acting as a willful and malicious thief and attributes his actions to an accidental data transfer. The case was settled in August 2021 through mediation. Tesla has sued former employees in the past for similar actions, including those who left to work for a rival such as Xpeng and Zooey. For example, Guangzhou Cao, a Tesla engineer, was accused of uploading Tesla Autopilot source code to his iCloud account. Tesla and Cao settled in April 2021, in which Cao was ordered to monetarily compensate Tesla. Misappropriation. In 2018, a class action was filed against Musk and the members of Tesla's board alleging they breached their fiduciary duties by approving Musk's stock-based compensation plan. Musk received the first portion of his stock options payout, worth more than $700 million in May 2020. In July 2023, Tesla board members returned $735 million to the company to settle a claim from a 2020 lawsuit alleging misappropriation of 11 million stock options granted to Elon Musk, Kimball Musk, Larry Ellison, and others from 2017 to 2020. Environmental violations. In 2019, the United States Environmental Protection Agency fined Tesla for hazardous waste violations that occurred in 2017. In June 2019, Tesla began negotiating penalties for 19 environmental violations from the Bay Area Air Quality Management District. The violations took place around Tesla Fremont's paint shop, where there had been at least 4 fires between 2014 and 2019. Environmental violations and permit deviations at Tesla's Fremont factory increased from 2018 to 2019 with the production ramp of the Model 3. In June 2018, Tesla employee Martin Tripp leaked information that Tesla was scrapping or reworking up to 40% of its raw materials at the Nevada Gigafactory. After Tesla fired him for the leak, Tripp filed a lawsuit and claimed Tesla's security team gave police a false tip that he was planning a mass shooting at the Nevada factory. The court ruled in Tesla's favor on the 17th of September 2020. In January 2024, 25 California counties sued Tesla, accusing the company of violating state health and safety codes by illegally disposing of hazardous waste. Later that week, the case was settled on the conditions that Tesla